All right, so Demacia Wraiths here. So the deck building requirements in Runeterra are you can play up to 2 factions, which are the different colors, of which there are currently 8 in Runeterra, and up to 6 champions, up to 3 copies of any individual card. So this deck is mostly Shadow Isles, with a few Demacia cards splashed in, such as Relentless Pursuit, and then Ranger's Resolve as a spell mana combat trick here. The Wraiths part of this deck are the Mistwraith. So the main thing this deck is trying to do is not focus on the champion so much as it's this card. So Mistwraith is a 2/2 fearsome. So it's a form of evasion here that says I can only be blocked by enemies with power 3 or more. And then it also says when you put this Wraith into play, grant allied Mistwraiths everywhere +1 attack. So we can only have 3 of these, obviously, with the deck building restriction in Runeterra, but there's more ways to get Mistwraiths in this game. So Wraith Caller is a 4/3 for 4, and this is the reason we want to be primarily Shadow Isles. So Wraith Caller has an allegiance trigger that says when you play this, if the top card of your deck is the same allegiance, you summon a Mistwraith, which has that same text. And then in the most recent set, Risen Mist is a really powerful card that is a 4-mana burst spell that just summons you a Mistwraith. Now, for people that aren't super familiar with the priority system in this game, Burst is really powerful on an effect like this that generates a unit, because burst spells, not only can your opponent not respond to a burst spell, unlike a fast or slow spell, but burst spells don't pass priority, which means if you have a good board presence and still have room to add a Mistwraith, you can Risen Mist at the start of your turn, make this other Mistwraith, make your existing Wraiths bigger, and then attack all before your opponent has a chance to do anything. It's more similar to unmorphing a creature as opposed to Split Second, because Split Second technically priority passes back and forth between players, and with burst spells that doesn't happen. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games here with this and see how it feels. Yeah, the Burst Wraith can also be good against opponents' opening attacks, because you can make a blocker with it when they're not expecting you to be able to block. Put it on Trundle Aesol, so something rampy controlling usually. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan these two. Looking for an aggressive curve to start. I think I'm going to keep Kalista and Wraithcaller as a 3/4. We're attacking on odds here. Mistwraith on 2 sounds great. Stream title still has as historic. You probably need to refresh. Someone else said that too, but it should be updated. I'll double check, I suppose. Yeah, title's current. I think I actually lead on Horror here, because it has a little bit more attack. I'd also like them to use a removal spell on this. So with this 3/2 in play, I could play Kalista, which would trade with this, but I think I'd rather play Mistwraith. Remember, I can bank up to 2 mana, up to 3 mana across turns, so this extra unused mana can get saved, which is nice. These are both fearsome, so they can attack in and not worry about being blocked by the Sentry, which is great. I expect we'll probably see them trade here.
For the homestead.
All right, don't fail me now. So there's 4 Demacia cards and 32 cards here. Nailed it. Do you have an Avalanche? You have a Behold the Infinite. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this. They're silencing this, which wipes all extra text off it, so I don't want them to be able to block with this. This gives them a card draw, but if they don't find something useful here, I'll get to open on attacks for 9, which is nice. Rainmaker, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. So again, this is a good example of what I was talking about earlier where you want to open on attacks. My opponent has no board, so I just want to start the turn by attacking. So I get in my hit for 9 here most likely. Because while I could attack with other units that I deploy from my hand here, if I play a unit out, they get a chance to play a unit out or to play a slow speed spell that could sweep my board. Got some healing in there. I'm going to go ahead and add to my board presence here. Does the silenced Mistwraith get pumped by future Wraiths? I don't know, actually. It's a good question. Doombeast sounds great. This has Nightfall, which means if it's not the first card I played around, it gets a bonus. It trains my opponent. Okay, see if they have an Avalanche here. That deals 2 damage to everything. That's a Trundle, sure. Assume this is gonna attack. And this regenerates, so unlike most things in this game, it recovers the life it takes. So I think I just take 4 here, then we'll open attacks. It does, Innuendo. Yeah, we have all the Mistwraith cards. Opponent is down to 4 here, and this is 2 points of reach, which is nice. So Trundle levels up when this Ice Pillar comes out. Unfortunately, he's a little bit too big with his level up. I think we are playing Kali Stout here, though. I could just dig for Doombeast. I think that's probably too aggressive because their archetype has so much healing in it. Oh no, not the dial-up dragon shit. Alright, I'm gonna look for Doombeast. None of these are what I want. I got choices, but none of them are nice. Lighting can potentially help you punch through. Not really. My bench is super full. They're not gonna sweep me, chat. They've locked down my board and they're gonna go wide now. Yeah, this card is such a beating for the go wide decks. Is it just like eats up your slots?
Who wants to fight?
Yeah, and there's the gain 10 on the revitalizing roar. Probably dead now, I'd imagine. Keeper is nice. Really? Why? Oh, I played the ephemeral one by mistake. That's why we're dead. I mean, it still killed 2 of my things and then was an 8/8, right? It'll be interesting to see if the incredible amounts of healing in this archetype goes untouched. Revitalizing Roar is just such a huge tempo swing when paired with their ramp. Definitely felt tough to get under consistently. I don't know if the data shows that it's too good, but it's definitely super reasonable. Unspeakable Horrors does not seem particularly good. Yeah, the bot still doesn't have to set 3 cards in it. I think I keep the rest of these. Cursed Keeper into Bladed Caretaker sounds good. We're attacking on odds. I think Revitalizing Roar is more offensive than the Target Heal. Well, it's not really incidental life gain. Like, the cards they're playing are like dedicated life gain decks.
Clad in shining sunlight. Scorching light.
I definitely think that Lux struggles with other things that go over the top of her. I was playing some Lux Thresh off stream the other night trying to find a third deck for the tournament I'm playing in, and it definitely just does not pair well into things like Orient Soul. Yeah, with Revitalizing Roar, you basically have to kill them before turn 10, or if they have it with an Orient Soul, you just lose.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
They grow up so fast.
Okay, works out pretty okay for us. Fortunately, 1 mana short of being able to Mistwraith into Doombeast here.
A new moon rises.
Yeah, I agree with that, Lacart. It feels. I agree with the assessment that Roar feels like something that they generally try to avoid. Definitely feels like a. I guess it's technically more nuanced than that because it's like a if they have it explicitly with this other thing, like it's an A plus B type comparison. You know, I'm actually just gonna let this happen. And then next turn, I can go Ranger's Resolve, Stygian, Doombeast. Which sounds great. Got a favorite Diana deck? Yeah, Diana Vi is the Diana deck I'm planning to play in the event at the end of the month. Thanks for the 17 months, Mez. I appreciate it. Welcome back.
Daylight everlasting.
Alright, so they get to eat my 4-3, but we get to crunch with the rest. They take 10.
Gaze into the light.
Looking at Mobalytics, there's a 53.3% win rate for Trender Aesol with 1 copy of Roar, and it looks like it goes up a bit for a 2nd copy according to Mobalytics. Sassy Magikarp, thanks for the half year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Treasure Flare is the name of a Magic deck. It's not a single card. If you look up on my historic decks on my website, it's under the meme category. It's very funny. Is this the type of card that can steal games, chat? We'll go this into this. Depending on what they do here.
I cannot turn back.
Faces to the sun!
Excuse me? What do they have? They have like double Pale Cascade? Maybe this is wrong because I plan to attack this turn. Oh, they could have Guiding Touch. Yeah, Guiding Touch is the card. Okay. Guiding Touch gets me regardless. No, they're just using Unspeakable Horrors. Sure.
We shall not rest until all betrayers pay.
Find your
Yep.
path in the dark.
And then we don't really have good attacks here at this point, right? I think this was the best draw in my deck.
There you are.
They have 7 mana though, so there's a good chance this still doesn't work out for us. Sixth Uro match in a row. Yeah, it's a good point to put Arena down. Is Uro the new Teferi? So, Uro's offensive for different reasons than Teferi. Like, Uro's offensive because of, like, pure power level reasons. Teferi was more offensive for play pattern reasons. Which I know might sound like it's splitting hairs, but I think that's an important distinction. So Kalista summons a thing, and then that thing takes damage instead of her. So she won't die in combat. He said, crossing his fingers. I guess they could theoretically, like, they hush her. They could trade with her in combat.
Meet destiny. You cannot sway me.
And, like, I can rally here, but that just gets me back another Mistwraith with her, which means they just chump with this, which kills the Wraith. So, like, this Relentless Pursuit would basically just be killing this. Now they have so many cards in their hand. I think we're done here.
Vengeance will come another time.
I had someone comment on one of my Runeterra videos the other day that they felt like the average quality of games had changed since the expansion released. And I think it's important to talk about that, like, when a format is new, especially with the system that I use here, like, this isn't a spike stream, right? So, like, a lot of the decks that we're trying here are things that are not only off the beaten path, but they're kind of wacky too a lot of the time. Like, they're trying to do a specific thing in a lot of instances, and these decks haven't had time to get tested or tuned, right? Like, that's normal that at the beginning of a format, you're getting beaten up more than you're winning when you're trying to work outside the box. Mulligan Skitter here. I've got Kalista as a 3-drop. Let's try and find some other Mistwraith stuff here. Hey, that qualifies. I don't know that, like, as is the case with most things, Supali, I think a lot of it can't be super strictly defined, that I think you kind of do yourself a disservice trying to force yourself into a strict definition. When was the last time I played Magic Standard format? 4 bans ago? 5 bans ago? 6 bans ago? See if they have a remembrance here. They're playing Lux Tarek. Yeah, I was gonna get stonewalled by that. It's fine.
Banish the unworthy.
Aren't play patterns and power sort of intertwined? Not always. They often are, but they don't have to be. Like, I think Teferi's a good example of that. I think 3-mana Teferi's a card that the play patterns are way more frustrating than its power level would describe. Like, it's a fine card, but I don't think it's necessarily pushed in terms of power level. I think the things that are erroneous about it are not power level related. It's pretty honest that I pay for Jeff to suffer through Magic so I don't have to. Yep. It's funny, the number of, when I started doing more Runeterra stuff, the number of people that are like, yeah, I haven't played Magic in a really long time, but I, like, tune into your stream consistently still to, like, see how it's going for you, so I know if it's worth my time to check it out again. And I think honestly, people telling me that, again, really speaks to that huge fact that Magic is a nostalgia game first and foremost for a lot of people, right? Like, that's one of the biggest strengths it has over these other games that are trying to be new to market, is that you have that history of the game, which is big. Radiant Guardian is so good. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like the facts.
Everywhere I go.
The cost of my sub is proportional to the level of guilt I feel. Ooh, that's a good observation, Prey Rates. If I would have held the other Challenger unit, I would have had lethal. Yeah, that's a good thought. When did Magic start to go downhill? War of the Spark. I think War of the Spark was the last time Magic had a really great format. Or before War of the Spark. Hey, the Extreme Otter, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Glandia. So keeping me employed here this month with that. Was it around Wilderness Reclamation? No, Reclamation was the set before that. You can, yep. Not to discourage you from giving me free money in the future, but in general, I also usually leave the chat open during the Runeterra segment.
Hold back the darkness.
This still doesn't do it, right? Yeah. Good catch on Wraiths' part. That if I would have saved the second Challenger unit the turn I played the Blighted Caretaker, we would have beaten the Radiant Guardian out of their hand, because we would have been able to hook it all the way to the right and kill them before we got to it. That was a really good catch on the sequencing. Not attacking with your ephemeral unit is not something you often want to do, but with the rally in hand, it changed the dynamic. Mulligan these two, looking for a better 3, I think. Perfect. 2, 3, 4. I appreciate you taking the time to do that, Otter. Yeah, my Prime subs support me the same as someone giving me $5 a month, and I appreciate it. Like a third, or not a third, like two-thirds of my subs in any given month usually are Prime subs. Somewhere between like 50 and 60% in that range. Big part of why, and that's honestly why, that's a big part of why Twitch has the market share that it does in this industry. Because streaming with access to Prime makes it able to be a job for a lot of people. A month from now, we get another expansion. Closer to 2 months, but yeah, October. And end of October, most likely. Real good Rangers resolve here. Okay. Are they dead? Are we gonna get to burst them and kill them, chat? And again, the strength of that burst speed here, getting to add something to the board that makes our board better and then attack right away. Do you have frostbites or heals? Probably heals, I imagine. They're going to 16 and they're taking 15. So they're gonna end up at 1 here. 1 is not none. Slow and steady, Panda Ninja.
What will you have?
I think we go digging for Doom Beasts, huh? As appealing as it is to take Mistwraith, I'm definitely supposed to just take Doom Beast, right? gonna lead on this because it makes this not be able to block my higher power fearsomes. And if they sweep here, I get these, and then I get these.
The enemies of day will fall.
Let's talk about your death.
You cannot sway me.
Got him. Just barely. Just barely. Hush is too strong. Please nerf Hush. That's one of the cards I really feel like Hush is in a good spot. All right, so we're like, I don't know what our record is. It doesn't matter. We've won some, we've lost some, we've punted some. It's going like an average deck thereabouts. We beat double Avalanche that game, right? Which is pretty sick. All right, I'm gonna keep double Wraithcaller. Attacking on evens actually isn't bad for this hand. Hey, Pekin, thanks for 31 months. Yeah, and hey, if you're one of my subscribers that, if you're one of my subs, I should plug this while we're doing the Runeterra stuff today, that enjoys the Runeterra stuff, please make sure you fill out the sub survey that was emailed out and it's linked in the subs Discord. The viewer count for Runeterra stuff is a bit lower than Magic, but I put way more weight into the survey results than the viewer count because at the end of the day, the viewer count doesn't really amount to that much money. But subscribers literally pay my mortgage, so those get a lot more weight overall. I think we just Unspeakable Horrors here and hope they don't have a Ranger's Resolve. If they do have a Ranger's Resolve, like them resolving here is like not that big of a deal, I don't think. We might be able, like, they're gonna have a lot of control over our board here, but we might be able to fear them out of the game still. A lot of Mistwraiths rolled up here.
This way, go!
Harry, riposte? You are tough. Hardly fair. Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
We could potentially kill them next turn, right? Yikes.
You call this a fight? Aha! Run them through. Hardly fair.
I could still kill them this turn, right? Right? I could go Mistwraith, Stygian is a 14 with Fearsome.
I'll defend these forests. to the end.
That's probably the game. I guess I do this and just put up some blockers here. And then hope to punk them next turn. Is the plan. Because I'm not dead on board, right?
My strength is yours. There you are. Hold nothing back.
They're still gonna have these as blockers though, right? Is the problem.
I demand satisfaction. Aha! Hardly fair.
This really seems like a pretty challenging matchup for us. Gosh, we're so close. Are they dead? If they hadn't had the rally here, we would have been able to kill them, right? We would get to go Mistwraith into Risen Miss. They would go block, block, and we'd hit them with 1, plus we'd overwhelm over. They had a Relentless Pursuit, though. Alternative question, are we dead? I don't know. Yeah, forcing blocks here is a requirement. I don't know if we die on the backswing. We probably do. Because they only have to trade with 2 things.
Your conquest ends here.
Yeah, we were like 1 turn sequence off. You know, it's funny, when they nerfed Relentless Pursuit to slow speed, this archetype didn't exist at the time. And I would bet they knew this archetype was coming down the pipe, and this is why they nerfed that.
What do you say, Glow? That's yes.
I'll bet they knew this archetype was coming. It was gonna be real good.
Come on, Rib.
They get to attack there with their rally attack, and then open attacks and kill us the following turn. Bannerman builds will super bust. I don't think that's true. The data didn't indicate that. They were playable, but they definitely weren't at the same level that this Lulu deck is. What nerf are you talking about? The rally spell used to be fast instead of slow speed. How could they know without win rate data? Well, you see, they test their formats before they release them to all of us here. Fast is like slow, but in combat too, and in response to other things. So like, if your opponent played a spell, you could play the rally spell in response to it, and then after the chain resolves, you could immediately attack. Which is something that's not possible anymore. So like, if they played a fast or slow spell, you could rally and then kill them after the chain resolved. I'm not even talking about software, I'm talking about their formats. It was a meme, fair. Opponent's playing Twisted Swain, which is a kill all your stuff mid-range deck. I think with that play, I go ahead and Cursed Keeper here, and then plan to Blighted Caretaker next turn, and will Rangers resolve to counter their Twisted Fate red card.
I'm always up for a round or two.
Nailed it. Yeah, there's Extreme Otter. If you have a couple of bucks to throw in, you can literally build any tier 1 deck for like 20 bucks. If you want to completely free to play, working towards a deck with Jinx or Ashe as the champions is a good choice because you get free copies of both of those. This turn worked out pretty well.
Oh, he likes you.
It's hard if they have everything. I mean, if they have everything, you're just gonna die. That's just how card games work. Sometimes your stuff doesn't line up and you die. Other times, they play Twisted Fate, you Rangers resolve, and you get them, and it's lovely. Sure, you get to keep your Twisted Fate. Yeah, I generally try not to speak too much to the free-to-play experience because I am very much not a free-to-play player in anything that I do. This is my job, and I don't make free-to-play content, so...
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
Their treasonous hearts. He's dead, Jim. You've killed her. I think I'm Wraith calling before combat. This draw especially makes Wraith calling pre-combat better, because now if they kill something before I go to combat, I can play this out to fill the slot on my bench.
I need more hands.
They have one fearsome blocker. Do I just try and go for lethal here? I think that's probably the play, right? Nah, I think the 3-2 spider is actually really important in Innuendo. I think it's important that I play a fearsome. I think it's important that I play a fearsome thing on 2. Yeah, the getting random card rewards in this game is way more important than in, like, Magic, for example, because, like, your random ICRs in Magic are largely unplayable cards, whereas here they're very likely to be playable.
Find me a flame-ridden lump!
You didn't block my 4-3 for some reason and chose to die? Okay. Interesting. It's an interesting play. Let's take a look and see if there's something we think we could cut for Missed Call. The problem with Missed Call is that it's super reactive. This card's been pretty mediocre. I don't love this card. I get that it's like a way to crack Cursed Keeper, I guess, but I haven't loved that effect. A cheeky Missed Call. Hey, congrats, Serdian. Diana, Nocturne, eh? Mulligan's not great.
Only a fool.
If you pull a champion, you already have in a champion capsule. Do you get a champion wildcard or shards? I believe you don't get you don't get champions. You already have dirty digits. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure those are like 3-card protected. And like if you have all the champions in a region, it gives you a champion from a different region, if I recall correctly. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. It's impossible to get a champion you already have unless you literally already have them. Yep. By awesome, you mean it should be a super basic functionality that's consumer friendly? Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's really straightforward consumer friendly functionality. That should be the industry. It is awesome that they do it, but like it should be the industry standard that they do it. It shouldn't be the, oh, this is special.
Minari, rise.
That's what was stopping me from crafting target champs. Nah, craft away, have fun. They want you to play the game. They want you to play with the cards. They want your rewards to feel good. They want you to play with the cards you want to play with. They want you acquiring rewards to feel good. There's gonna be another event like the Spirit Blossom event. I assume at some point. The Spirit Blossom event was something that like went across the entirety of their games though. So I wouldn't be super surprised if they like waiting for like some kind of crossover with League. Wow, I'm actually really surprised they're trading boards here with me. With me at 9, I feel like this exchange is good. Like on their side, I feel like I would have saved their 5-3.
They forced us to choose death or the blade.
It's my favorite region in Runeterra. I think Targon. That could also just be recency bias, though.
Darkness. They tried to blind me with resplendence, but they could not break me.
I think if you asked me for my top 3, Targon, Bilgewater, and Freljord are probably my top 3.
It's our time. Face your heretic.
Not PNZ. Gosh, I like PNZ too. Those are the 4 regions basically all my favorite decks are in. Another Pale Cascade here. Unspeakable Horror. Yeah, that'll do it too, because this gives her 2 extra attack. So she's leveled.
We will be free.
I think I need to kill Diana here, right? I think I'm playing this, eating this. And then I'm probably rallying and playing another Blighted Caretaker.
Come this way.
Well, that's defensive as all get out.
Looking into the future, I see purple.
There's no Lulus in this game. Trying to put together a way... They're Diana Nocturne. Trying to put together a way we win this game from here. Feels real tough with staring down Diana. Let's get that out there. Make that be something you're gonna have to think about.
The soul.
Everyone's a garden.
Everyone's a garden.
I cannot turn back.
Celestial power.
Night descends. I will be heard.
Night
they trade here, they block here.
Leave me no recourse.
I should technically order Kalista at the end here, but it doesn't really matter. Bunch of gems in hand. 3 actual cards.
All beauty is transient.
Grow up so fast.
So they get to go block here. Where are they doing? Where are they doing that? Oh, because they think I'm dead. Got it. I am dead. Yep. I was like, they're not dead. In my opinion, there is no such thing as an overpriced cosmetic. I think the appropriate price for a cosmetic is whatever is the price that maximizes the sales of them, or maximizes their profit from sales of them. And I'm sure Riot has more experience doing that than almost any other card game maker out there. I'm gonna mulligan these, keep my Mistwraith cards, look for a 2-drop here. Yeah, like technically qualifies, I suppose. I think the same thing about wild cards or card packs. No, not at all. Wild cards and card packs can definitely cost too much money. The reason why there's no wrong price, in my opinion, for cosmetics is because they are completely optional to play the game. For example, Magic Arena is way too expensive for the most part. Yeah, the price of admission could definitely be too high. The price of various drinks once you've walked through the door can be whatever. Not everybody needs the fanciest drink in the bar.
Find humans, make them flat.
Yeah, Arena is expensive in both areas. It's expensive for cosmetics and it's expensive to play. Big agree. Ranger's Resolve is so good. And now they put this to 3 toughness, so it can't block. And I get this abomination here, too. I think I just attack with these, because if they block anything, Kalista levels. They might just take 14 here, honestly. Maybe I'm supposed to attack and offer the trade. You can see, I'm not 100% convinced the rallies are a good splash, but Ranger's Resolve has been instrumental in keeping us competitive against these Avalanche decks and against the Twisted Fate decks. That's unfortunate. At least Kalista's leveling.
Death to all betrayers!
Howdy, Morrow.
The trolls are going to war! Go to war!
Go to war! We have guests.
Little's cross easy!
So, I want to block with Mistwraith because then Kalista attacks and summons a Mistwraith, right? Which pumps them all up. Oh, she is summoning a 4-3. I'm dumb, you're right. That's sad.
You got a problem?
Is Wraithcaller... When you summon this, it gets you Legion bonus. Oh, I forgot Wraithcaller. I forgot a Legion was on summon. Call. Boo. These work. Alright, glass half full, that worked. It's a good one too. Wraithcaller would be stronger than the 4-3 because it has a higher casting cost. So strength checks, it tells you your mouse over it. Ties are broken by health and then cost. Strength, health, cost. Hey, I'm glad you've been enjoying it, Shaman. What I want to do here... I'm going to have 3 banked mana and 9, so I'll have 12 total mana next turn. Any guys Stygian here? Fuck me, that's the ephemeral one. Whoops. They really need to put an outline on it. I should pay more attention, but they need an outline or something for that. So I had intended to play this out so I could sack it to my Blighted Caretaker, but my carelessness means I have to play the other one now. That's super unfortunate.
There you are!
If we can dodge another sweeper, we can dodge a ball here, chat. Yeah, something like the fleeting effect, like how the fleeting cards are green, like that, but purple for the ephemeral things in your hand. Would be perfect. I'm gonna be off this one for now, I think. You just can't beat the Revitalizing wherever. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that one... Yeah, This even with the addition of Risen Mist, it feels like this archetype as a whole is just still kind of missing something. Ranger's Resolve continues to be one of the best combat tricks in the game. Definitely super impressive there. Was part of the reason why we were able to stay in those games, but still just don't quite have the oomph we need to beat both the early healing and the revitalizing roar at the top end of their curves. All right, at any rate, we're going to do a second Runeterra deck here today. We're going to do some Twisted Diana. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad break before we jump into that. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.